KSR's Jack Pilgrim here in Houston, Texas for the McDonald's All-American Games, where 4 Kentucky signees are set to participate or have been participating in the open practices. Media Day, we have the Powerade Jam Fest. We have got that coming up tonight. But first, we want to break down what happened today at the open practices. I'm here with Jacob Polacheck of KSR Plus. Our first time having you on the show. I'm excited to have you on.
Yeah, I've been watching these for a while. It's glad to finally make my appearance.
Well, you showed up for practice. We get the chance to see 4 Wildcats in action. You got DJ Wagner, Aaron Bradshaw, and Justin Edwards on the East squad, and then obviously Reed Shepard on the West squad. They kind of separated some of the cats. We got to see them in action in a just normal practice setting and then an actual scrimmage that took place yesterday. So there was a private practice on Saturday night. Sunday morning was an open practice with NBA scouts and different personnel, media. And then the actual scrimmage took place Sunday afternoon. You didn't get the chance to see the first day, but you were here for this morning where it was a pretty hectic morning, a lot of good things and some bad, but curious to get your thoughts, just overall takeaways on how the Cats performed.
Yeah, so with Reed Shepard on the West, I was not spending as much time on the West team. I was looking more at the East. And really the guy that stood out to me was Aaron Bradshaw. He really impressed. Unfortunately, that group was doing more drill work instead of the 5-on-5s. So it would have been nice to see a little more 5-on-5 work. But in a lot of the drills, he's out there hitting threes, which you don't really see from a Kentucky big as often. But it sounds like he wants to bring that to Kentucky next year.
Yeah, some quotes that definitely jumped out during his media day portion where he said that he would be open to playing the 3 at Kentucky. And I don't think I've ever seen a 7'1" 3-man play at Kentucky, and I don't think Kentucky fans want to see that, but he's versatile. He is clearly a face-up guy, very comfortable stepping out to the three-point line and knocking down shots. So maybe let's not get carried away with the 3 talk, but at least understanding that he is definitely better suited in the face-up.
Absolutely. And I saw a little bit of DJ Wagner. I heard that he was great at Sunday practice. I was unfortunately not there for that, but he looked very impressive. Same with Justin. I think those 3 looked like they were gelling really well together, so I was happy to see that.
Yeah, and unfortunately, you didn't get to see a lot of the competitive scrimmaging that took place on Monday because there wasn't any. But on Sunday, they did compete and they fought hard. We got a lot of 5-on-5, 4-on-4 type stuff where I appreciated the way DJ Wagner took ownership of the event. I think he's just kind of an alpha dog. Every court that he steps on, he wants to kind of establish himself as the guy. And I don't think that's what this past Kentucky team has. So to see him kind of walk out onto that floor amongst, elite talent from top to bottom, to see him kind of embrace that, this is my team. I'm going to set the tone here from the start. I really appreciated that from him from the start. And I did like the chemistry that we got to see with Justin Edwards and DJ. They played played off of one another very well, created shots for each other, definitely in an on-ball, off-ball kind of back and forth with one another.
Yeah, it seems like this group really gets along on the court and off the court. It seems like they really like being around each other.
Yeah, Reed Shepard was with the West team, and they did do a lot more scrimmaging on both days. And Reed is not the type of kid to go crazy in a camp setting or even all-star setting. Big events like this. This is just not where he kind of plays. Where he's going to drop 40 points in any given game. Reed is at his best in these type of settings where he just kind of plays team basketball and looks for the open man and makes that extra pass or looks to make that extra defensive stop or pull off a steal or a block or whatever, kind of doing the other things that definitely don't stand out on a box score necessarily. He definitely is a big fan of the winning plays, and he definitely made a lot of them in my time watching him. I know you didn't get a full experience with Reed, but did you get any chance to see him at all? And your very limited thoughts on Reed.
Yeah, like I said, I was watching a lot of the East team. I did glance over to watch Reed for a few minutes, and it looked like he was really holding his own. And I think a role like this can fit him in a way where he's not asked to score a ton of points, but he's able to distribute the ball, play good defense, and still make an impact on the game.
Yeah, and if you're looking for reasons why Reed Shepard is going to play early at Kentucky, I look for things like this because he's playing alongside a lot of talent, and he might fit in a little bit too much and not assert himself as the, like, he's a bucket getter. He's a dude that's going to go get his own shot and can't, is talented enough to do that. But he doesn't try to enforce that. He doesn't try to go above and beyond and make mistakes and do things that come with kind of playing a little bit more reckless. And he's definitely more comfortable fitting in with this style of play. And I think that does definitely bodes well if you're looking for him to play early at Kentucky, because he's going to play a mistake-free brand of basketball. He's going to look to make the extra pass and just try to make winning plays and impact however he can. So he might not be a 10, 15 point per game scorer immediately, but he's at least going to go in there and he's going to knock down open shots. And that's what he did at this event. When wide open shots came to him, he knocked them down. He made the extra pass. He found assists. He got a ton of deflections and steals and blocks and really active hands and really thrived in that area. Got beat a couple times in just on ball defense situations, and that's definitely going to need to get better. But definitely looked the part. He definitely clearly belonged out on the floor, and that was definitely a sight to see. So we got to see all four. All four did things different and well in their own regard. The one missing piece, Rob Dillingham, who I know there's going to be some conversation about why he didn't participate, why he's not here. He was not eligible for the event. No overtime elite athletes were eligible to participate. Break down why that is, Jacob. The ruling and the varsity rules and all that, but just kind of why is Rob not here?
The basic gist of it is that they're playing competition that is technically the pro level. They're playing with like the Thompson twins, who have that salary with overtime, and so that was, from what I heard, the main feedback of why the overtime elite players are not eligible this year, a la Rob Dillingham.
Yeah, so it sucks because you would like to see he is clearly a McDonald's All-American quality. Just the selection committee has their own criteria and believe that no overtime elite players are deserving of being here for their own personal reasons. So it is what it is. I would have liked to have seen them all together and see kind of the chemistry that they're clearly building, because the four of them, I mean, they're inseparable. Jacob, that's one thing that I've noticed from the start. All four of them are always together. They're always there's one play that Aaron Bradshaw went up for kind of a jump hook, and Justin Edwards went up and swatted it, and he kind of like looked at him and kind of did the yeah, I'm the big dog here. And it's just kind of cool seeing their interactions together, and they're very clearly building that bond. And it does suck that we don't get Rob. Would have liked to see all five.
Yeah, and I think an environment like this fits Rob so perfectly. This all-star game kind of play, so it's unfortunate, but to get four guys that we get to see here is really great.
And I guess you've gotten a chance to see Rob up close and personal for the better part of his entire season at Overtime Elite, and you've seen him play a lot more than the average Kentucky fan, just because you're right there down there in Atlanta. For those that have not gotten the Rob Dillingham experience, if you will, what do fans need to know about their future point guard?
Well, you said it yourself, experience. It's an experience, because he's going to do some amazing things on the court. His ball handling, passing, and when he's hot, he's hot. So when he's hitting the ball, when he's hitting shots, he can really shoot the ball. But he's streaky from shooting, and he likes to have the ball in his hands. So it will be interesting with all these talented freshmen coming in. How much is he going to get the ball in his hands, and how is he going to fit into a system like Kentucky?
System like Kentucky. He's not been the biggest fan of structure, and Kentucky is the biggest structure. So that's definitely one to keep a close eye on. It's going to be the DJ and Rob Dillingham show, two very ball dominant guards, seeing how those two complement one another. We got to see a lot of facilitating on DJs. He's just, when he goes into attack mode and looks to score around the bucket, he gets paint touches at will and really tries to, enforce himself and assert himself in the issue. And I think that's definitely going to bode well for him. And I just am curious how that's going to work alongside Rob and vice versa, because Rob is also kind of in the same boat where he just likes to have the ball in his hands quite a bit. And it's going to be a show. It's going to be an experience. It may not be the best and most efficient show at times, but it's going to be a show nonetheless that I know Kentucky fans are definitely excited for. One note, I guess, while we're talking about ball-dominant guards, one is leaving the University of Kentucky. Xavier Wheeler decides and announces that he's going to be putting his name into the transfer portal. Not something that is a surprise in any facet. Just your thoughts on that, Jacob. The departure of probably the most polarizing player on the Kentucky basketball roster in 3-4 years.
Yeah, like you said, not a surprise, and I think it clears way for all these talented freshmen to come in and kind of do away with the old guard, come in with the new guard, and yeah, it's not a surprise. So best of luck to Severe.
Yeah, I've been told that the Big 12 is definitely a destination area to keep a close eye on. I know Kansas State will have interest. Marquise Noel is kind of the darling of March Madness, 5'8". He's probably going to take his talents, take the next step, and I wouldn't be shocked if they replace him with another 5'8", 5'9" point guard. There's a connection there. When Xavier was in high school, he committed to Texas A&M, and the assistant that was at Texas A&M, the guy that he committed to there, is now the lead assistant Ulrich up at Kansas State. So that's a connection to definitely keep a close eye on. Texas A&M will reach out, maybe even a potential return to Georgia. There's some other schools that are there, but I would be shocked if he's not in the Big 12. He's from Texas. I would put my money on Kansas State right now. I think that makes a lot of sense, and I wish him nothing but the best. He did a lot of really good things. Was the starting point guard of a number 2 seed for the University of Kentucky. For that, I appreciate him. But it's now time for DJ Wagner and Rob Dillingham, and replacing one experience for another.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it, and yeah, I think I'm really excited about these newcomers. I think you are as well, and it's only a matter of time before we see them on campus.
We got the open practice portion, got the scrimmage last night where they all kind of did different things. Media day was a lot of fun. Any individual quotes or takeaways that kind of jumped out at you from the 4 Wildcats that we got to talk to?
Well, I think the one that I'm going to bring up is Aaron Bradshaw playing the 3. He said he might. I don't remember the exact quote, but it was something along the lines of playing the 3 or 4 at Kentucky, which was quite interesting.
Yeah, interesting is a good way to put it. And I guess Aaron did, like we talked about, there was a lot of drill work with the East squad, and especially today where we didn't get a lot of highly competitive 5-on-5 action. But he's clearly more comfortable in the face-up and likes taking jump shots out to the 3-point line, and that is the best way to utilize his skill set and reach his potential individually. If you're expecting him to kind of anchor the middle and be a kind of just a rim running kind of Willie Cauley-Stein kind of defensive minded guy, that's just not who Aaron Bradshaw is, and you are not getting the most out of a very gifted individual if you don't let him kind of rock out a little bit and take some sometimes questionable 3-point shots, or hand in his face from 18 feet. Like you kind of got to live with some of the bad shots, but if you're truly going to unlock the best version of Aaron, that's definitely the best way to put it. Maybe not as a 3.
Yeah, I'm not completely sold on him at the 3, but he did say something along the lines of, "I'm not an old big, I'm a new big." So hopefully the staff embraces that and puts him in the right spots.
Well, we will be going to the Powerade Jam Fest tonight, where Reed Shepard is set to participate in the 3-point contest. We'll be there with some coverage, and hopefully he knocks down some shots. I know Bronny James will be in attendance, knocking down, or I guess he's participating in the dunk contest. One of my individual standouts, I think Bronny has been sensational this week. Maybe not as an on-ball guy. He's turned the ball over a ton and has trouble getting past defenders and driving the basket. Like that's not necessarily his game as a point. He's not a point guard, but if you take him for what he is as an off-ball specialist, kind of a catch and shoot 3-and-D type guy, he's kind of really good. So that's definitely a person that stood out to me and a guy that I've definitely enjoyed watching. I've always been kind of a Bronny truther when he was kind of underranked, 45, 50 range. I've always liked him more than that, but ever since he's kind of gotten the jump into the top 10, I've kind of been like, all right, I need to nitpick some mistakes and kind of find reasons to not like his game as much, because I feel like it's in a happy medium. But to his credit, he's proven me wrong this week. He's been sensational. Are there any other standout guys that look the part to you?
Yeah, Matas Buzelis, seeing him for the first time since Peach Jam, and he looks the part. I know ESPN had him projected as the #1 pick in that 2024 draft, and those are obviously very high standards to live up to, but he looked the part today, and I think that he's a really, really good player.
Yeah, so that wraps us up here. At least we'll be at the Powerade Jam Fest tonight. Plenty more to come. We'll have interviews right here on the KSR YouTube page. Plenty more content coming from on the KSR Plus and KSR new KS board that we're definitely very proud of, and it's growing quite a bit. Just throw a little shameless plug about the work that we're doing over at KSR Plus.
One $10 payment until football season, and I'm churning out 2 stories a day. Adam Luckett is putting out stories, and then the KS board is the most fun you can have. It's all the KSR guys are on there, and we're having a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're having a lot of fun, and we still have a lot of fun to come in Houston. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We will see you next time.